So hello again. Today we are in the middle of suburban Colorado Springs. Not exactly a survival setting in the normal sense, but you never know what might happen. We decided to film here today because this is another example of where you might need to collect water. This water is actually pretty pristine. I looked up online what might be contaminating it. There's maybe one or two minor industrial contaminants, but not much. However, there is a lot of human traffic walking back and forth and a lot of beautiful dogs that are going in the water and wading. So as with any water out in the wild, this is probably contaminated with microbiological pathogens. So we learned before how treatment of public drinking water supplies, both through filtration and disinfection, wiped out the incidence of cholera and typhoid fever and waterborne hepatitis A and other diarrheal diseases in the developed world. But what happens if you are somewhere like this and your water supply goes offline? So a lot of it depends. You know, how long are you going to be offline? What are you going to be staying in the urban environment? Or are you going to be treating water just for yourself or for a larger group? And what exactly constitutes pure water? We talked about EPA public water supply regulations, but what about individual water treatment? Not for the entire city, but just for you yourself. So EPA has a guide, standard, and protocol for microbiological water purifiers, and these are individual devices. So one of the first questions is, how much water do you need? How much water do you need in a survival situation? So the bare minimum recommendation is 1 gallon per day. That is roughly equal to about 4 quarts. So 1 liter is roughly equal to a quart. So that would be 4 of these smart water bottles or 4 of these Nalgene containers would be what you would expect as a minimum for 1 day's worth of safe drinking water. And a lot of that's going to depend on what you're doing. Are you in the shade? Are you exerting yourself? Is it very hot and humid, or is it the middle of winter? Because if you're sweating a lot and losing water through your system, you're going to need to hydrate more often. So more realistically, 3 gallons per day is recommended because of things other than drinking. So for sanitation, for brushing teeth, for washing dishes, things like that. This bucket that I'm sitting on is a 5-gallon bucket. So 3 gallons would be, roughly 3/5 of the way up this bucket. So water storage containers come in a lot of different sizes. You have your standard 1/2 liter. This is 1 liter smart water bottle or a Nalgene bottle. And you also have your hydration bags, your platypus bags or your camelbacks. And those typically come in 2 liters or 3 liters. 1 gallon is 3.8 liters. So even this is not enough for a full day's worth of drinking water.